The bad news is that harassment on live streams is trending right now. But the good news is that you have the ability to handle it as the content creator who is live streaming. I sometimes get a lot of harassment on my live streams. Not all the time, and it depends on the platform, but there are definite times when I have been harassed on my live streams. And I have learned that you have to have a plan for how you're going to handle it because otherwise it can go really badly for you. And I'm going to tell you a horror story toward the end of today's conversation. So you want to make sure you have a plan, you know what to do, you know what steps you're going to be taking, and that's going to be your company policy. Your company policy dictates how you're going to handle when different types of harassment happen on live streams so that you already know what you're going to do, you can take those actions, and you can move forward with it. So the first thing that I do when I am being harassed on a live stream in whatever capacity is to take screenshots and to report it. Different platforms have different ways of reporting it, and I'm blocking them, and I'm dealing with all these things. So before I deal with anything, I'm grabbing my phone and taking a screenshot, or I'm taking a picture of it, I'm capturing it on my computer, whatever I need to do, I'm getting proof of that. And I want that so that I can have those conversations with the social platforms if I need to. Also, I have a little folder of like hate comments that I get so that I can then use it in content later on, not in an aggressive way, but like, here's how to deal with these kind of things. Just like this conversation, I would put up some of those harassing comments that I got as illustrations without revealing those people's names. So at that point, we're taking screenshots and we're going to report. You have to go through the process of reporting. I have tutorials on how to report things on most of the main social platforms here on the channel. If you need that, just go ahead and Google that with my name and it should pop up. You also want to make sure that you employ moderators. So if you have busy live streams and you can't manage it yourself while you're on air, have moderators that have the ability to then deal with those nasty comments or those people so that you do not have to worry about it and they can take care of it. Another thing that's really important to do is block people while you're on air. We're not dealing with this later on unless the social platform does not allow it. So if you see somebody that's a problem, you or your moderator need to block them. Get them out of your space because if you don't, they're going to keep talking and it's going to keep being a problem. So you want to make sure you've blocked them, you've gotten them out of the way, and you do not have to worry about them during at least the course of that conversation. And if you have the screenshots, you can go back in and block their profiles after the fact, because sometimes when you block them on a live stream, it just blocks them for a certain amount of time rather than overall. So you always want to make sure you have their names so you can go back and block them when you need to. That's really important for me to ignore a lot of this. I do not address the harassment. I do not deal with them. And I want to make sure that I'm doing that in a way so that I don't freeze. And that's where my story comes in. Back at the beginning of my live stream career, when I was probably a few years into it, when live streaming was on webinars only, before any of the social platforms had it, there was a platform called Periscope. It was attached to Twitter, and it was the most toxic thing I've ever seen in my life. It was really rough. And I was doing a live stream one day on my author platform. Most of my audience was minors. I had teenage people hanging out talking about my books and a couple of adults as well on this platform watching me live stream, when a very awful person came in and said something that made me freeze. I completely panicked. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of harassment. I've dealt with a lot of people. That was the only time in my entire career that I froze on camera. I've been able to handle much worse things, but the way that this person said the thing that they said just caused me to freeze. I was outside. I was connected to my wireless inside, and I just kind of panicked on camera because said that in front of minors, and I was horrified. And thankfully, I had a friend in the audience who snapped me out of it, and I was able to deal with it. But I definitely froze on air because while I was prepared and I had dealt with that stuff before, that particular one just hit in a way that made me freeze. So I generally do not respond to these people, and I did not respond to that person as well. I froze. I didn't respond to him, but I did freeze. But typically, I just pretend like they're not there. I don't address them. I don't engage with them. I just deal with it on the technical side of it. So I block it. I take my screenshots. I do the things, or I let my moderators do the things, and I don't worry about it because I don't want to call attention to it. Yes, my audience gets involved. Yes, they have responses to that person or those people, but I don't. I don't do it because I think of my replay audience. People who are on the replay don't necessarily see the comments that are coming in unless I put them on screen, depending on the platform. So they don't need to know. They don't need to know I'm being harassed or people are being harassed or things are happening in my comment section that are not good. I ignore it so that I can use that footage later on. I will never interrupt answering a question to deal with those things because I repurpose my content. I want to make sure I have the ability to take those clips and put them out without them being interrupted. So I ignore, but I do not freeze. So if you've got questions, let's go ahead and drop it. We all get hate on social media, unfortunately. It's not fun. It's not good. It's not a great thing. But it is the way that it's going to be. And in the current climate of live streams, you're going to get more and more harassment. So make sure you have a plan, make sure you have your company policy, and that you are moving forward with how you are doing this in a way that's going to feel comfortable for you. It's never fun to get harassed. Some people will want to address it. And if you want to address it, by all means, do your thing. That might be part of your brand. For me, I don't want anything going with that kind of thing on my content where I am engaging with it. So I'll deal with it after the fact, or I have people deal with it for me via my moderators while I'm streaming. I do not deal with it while I'm on air, and it's entirely up to you what's going to be the best fit for you. There is no right or wrong way, just the right and wrong way for you to do it. So drop your questions. Let me know, have you been harassed on social before? Because, man, my file is full of things that people have said to me, and I'm more than happy to commiserate with you. Yeah, I'm not sure that's the right word. Multi-time best-selling author, and sometimes I just get my words wrong, or I second-guess myself, and I do it on live streams, and it's totally okay. We're going on with our live stream session here on the channel, helping to answer your live stream questions from Livestream Action Plan, the community where I have been helping people for many, many years to level up their content to be more profitable through their live streams. So drop your questions and follow along for tutorials on how to navigate TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and content creation.